Hello, everybody. Welcome to Late Night Football. Welcome to our match reaction show. It's finished Barcelona 2, Manchester United 2. Rarely, very rarely, but sometimes, rarely, you get a game where both managers are disappointed with the result. I think today is one of those games where I think both managers will look back and go, that's not the result that we wanted. Because United being 2-1 up, you would think, right, we've got to see this out. We've got a lead that we can take back to Old Trafford where we can see this game out. And they couldn't, and they let that lead slip through. Barcelona, having played not so well, probably up to that second goal that United put in, just came back strongly and looked really, really good. And probably should be taking something with them to Old Trafford. They probably should be up 3-2, even 4-2 from this game. So I think it's a game where both teams will feel, and from that consequence, they'll think, why didn't we play like this before we conceded that second goal, before we let United take the lead? So there will be disappointments. I was surprised that Marcos Alonso, to just go back to the start of the game, I was surprised Marcos Alonso started this game, because to me, it should have been, you've got a decent centre back pairing where you've got you got Christensen, or you've got whoever. You start. Marcos Alonso has never been known for his defensive prowess. Even when he was a left wing back, he's known for his attacking prowess, not for his defensive prowess. So it was a surprise selection. He scored a goal, a bit lucky, but he scored the goal. And so maybe I was proved wrong. I don't know. Let me know what you thought of his performance defensively. Offensively, obviously, he got the goal, so maybe his selection was justified. And then I was surprised Alex Balde didn't start. I know why he started Jordi Alba, because this is a big game and you want experience. But I mean, Balde has done well every time he's played, so I see no reason why you don't start him in a game like this. It's the same thing where Manchester United, I mean, they could have probably played Dalo instead of Malacia, but he didn't. He played Malacia because he's played in there in games, and that's how you get experience. So those were two surprise selections for me. With United, I mean, a lot of people are like, oh, Weghorst playing number 10. I think he just did that because he knew that Weghorst is a 9, and then you put Sancho on the right, doesn't work. So in his mind, it was like, I've got to make a decision whether I play Weghorst as a striker and the whole attack sort of suffers a little bit, or do I play Bruno on the right and I play Weghorst as number 10, and maybe that would work. So he went with the other option. It did work for the most part, at least up until the second goal. After that, things just fell apart, and we'll come to that. But yeah, those were things that we noticed, and I do think that it impacted Barcelona a little bit, because they played Araujo on the right specifically to counter Rashford playing off the left wing, and he didn't play off the left wing, so he was going after Kounde, and I think that unsettled Kounde a little bit, because he's not used to playing as a centre back. He's not played there for a while. So he's coming up in second half against a player that he's not supposed to be coming up against, and so I think that unsettled him a little bit as well. But surprised Xavi didn't change that once he saw Rashford through the middle, but maybe there was something more to it. The first goal that I considered very sloppy. It's a corner. It's not very good. It's a good ball in, but it's one that you expect United to deal with, and they just make a mess of it. Fred just loses his marker. Alonso goes in. Maybe he could have done better on his near post. I always feel that the near post goalkeepers could do it, but maybe it was well struck. I don't know. I think Fred was definitely at fault for that first goal, and it just went in. It was against the run of play, wasn't it? Because United for that were good. They had a couple of very good chances. Weghorst had one that he should have put in. Rashford had one that he probably could have done better with. Sancho had one that, just a minute before Sancho had a chance, which he could have scored as well. That was on his left foot, so I'm a little bit forgiving, because it's difficult for players on their weaker foot. But the fact that they conceded goals so soon after such a big chance would have been very, very frustrating. And Barcelona taking the lead was it was a little bit against the run of play. It was probably a little bit more than they deserved. But after that, United just said, okay, fine, let's go up a gear, and they went up a gear. And if you thought Fred's error was bad for that first goal, I mean, Stegen's error is really, really poor for that second goal, because it's a good pass from Fred into Rashford, but he's got one little corner to aim at. That's all that he's got, and that's all that Stegen has to protect from that point. And he doesn't. He just lets it come through. You can tell me about the pace of the shot. You can tell me it caught him out. But the fact is that a goalkeeper at that level has got to be making those saves, and that is an error on Ter Stegen. And United, it was what United said. They had been in the contest, and they got, and it was a goal that they deserved. And Rashford, I mean, the kind of form that he is in right now, he's making everything look possible. It's just unbelievable, the kind of form that he's in, the kind of run that he's on. He seems to be scoring now. He's scoring every game pretty much now, isn't he? It's a surprise when he doesn't score, but it's 1-1. And then it becomes 2-1. And again, I think Barcelona just got caught. I think that goal kind of unsettled them a little bit, kind of caught them out, stunned them a little bit, because I don't think they were expecting United to be responding that way. Remember, Barcelona go 1-0 up in games and they don't concede. They just see games out. They don't. They got stunned here a little bit because somebody scored against them, and sometimes that happens when you have that mindset. It kind of takes a hit, and it did take a hit here. And that second goal again, Raphinha gets caught out, defensively, where he thinks we're actually going to pass it back. Rashford goes past him. The ball's, Bruno is just trying to flick it anywhere, and it flicks off Kounde and it goes into the back. And like I said, he was a bit unsettled. I think this was the result of that. He was just unsure of where he needed to be, and it just hit him and it goes in. It's unfortunate, but it's part of the game. It happens, and you couldn't say United didn't deserve to be up in that game. They did deserve to be ahead in that game, 2-1, and here's two things. Number one, I think a lot of teams are saying, well, is La Liga shit? Because Barcelona, they beat everyone in La Liga. They're 8 points clear, and yet here United, taking the game to them. I don't think La Liga is shit. I think the problem is the mindset. I think a lot of teams don't go after Barcelona. A lot of teams are like, let's try and stay in the game till the 80th minute, 82nd minute, and then we'll try and attack, and then we'll try and get something. You don't win many games that way. You don't. And that's what happens. Oftentimes they go 1-0 down, 2-0 down, and by that time it's too late. So that mindset needs to change. If teams go after Barcelona, as Bayern have shown, as Inter shown, you can get at Barcelona, but you need to be brave enough to go after them. And it may not work. It didn't work today. United didn't win the game. It didn't work today. But the fact is that you have to go after Barcelona if you want to trouble them. If you try and say we're going to sit back and we're going to try and see it out till the 80th minute and then we'll try and attack, that's not going to work. That's too difficult. So that's where I think the mindset has. That's where I think the La Liga issue stands. Now, after that, this is where United's problem is. A lot of people say United are United title challengers. They're title challengers. They're title challengers. This is the problem. United's first 11 and probably a couple of players around that, they're pretty good, and they will win you most games. They will. Problem is, first 11s don't play every game. You can't have the same 11 players playing every game, every season. You've got to change it. You need to have a squad. What Barcelona have is a squad. They saw something was not working. They bring on Fati. They bring on Christensen. They change it up. Right? They can do that. And they did that. And it completely transformed the game because suddenly Barcelona won the attack. United were tiring. Barcelona had fresher legs. I do think that playing Gavi as a winger didn't work. Because, with Wan-Bissaka, you need to have somebody who's going to run at him, who's going to, because you've got Bruno and Wan-Bissaka as your wingers. If you have Gavi as one of the wingers, yes, it did work for the most part in the first half. But once Bruno started tracking back, it didn't work so well because Bruno was helping him out. But if you have Fati, then you've got a fast player against two players who, one player who's not very fast in Bruno, and it isolates Wan-Bissaka. That's what they need to do. They need to isolate Wan-Bissaka, and Gavi wasn't doing that. So as soon as Fati comes on, that happens. It also, on the other side, Raphinha suddenly found some form from somewhere. I don't know. But the goal comes from another sloppy pass. I thought 4 goals were pretty much errors, weren't they? In some ways, all errors. The fourth goal as well. Casemiro, I think he's expecting a run forward. It doesn't come. He gives the ball away. The ball comes out. It comes to Raphinha. It's a very good ball in. But again, I think Varane is expecting Lewandowski to touch it. Lewandowski just says, I'm not touching it. I'll just let it go through. And it goes through Varane's legs. Or maybe he does. Or maybe I don't know if it was intentional. I think he just missed it. But it's quite possible that it was intentional as well. But it just goes through Varane's legs. It's a very, very bad goal to concede. And it just... to me, it turned the game. It became 2-2. United suddenly started getting leggy. There were a couple of other chances Barcelona should have taken. I mean, that chance which hit the post, I don't know what kind of defending was going on over there. Somebody's run, I think it was Varane or Casemiro, I don't know, was trying to shepherd it out of play or trying to do something. It hits the post, comes out. There were a couple of other chances. De Gea pulled off a good save as well, I think, from Fati as well. It's just opportunity after opportunity. I think Barcelona, as I said, the last 20 minutes, they'll be disappointed that they didn't score 1 or maybe even 2 more goals. United will probably say, yeah, we got out of it. And that's the thing. You can't play the same 11. He couldn't make any substitutions because there was nobody on the bench. There was no midfield option on the bench to bring on. The only option that he had was he could bring on Garnacho. That was the only thing that he could do. Other than that, you're bringing on Maguire, you're bringing on Lindelof, you're bringing those kind of players on, you're not going to be able to win much. With that, you can't play those kind of players when you're trying to win a game. Yeah, maybe if they were 2-1 up, you might have brought them on to hold the game, but even then that would have been risky. So that's the problem for United this season. I think we see why Barcelona are ahead in the league, because they are a very good team, but they're also helped by the opposition in how they play. And we see why United are where they are and not where people think that they should be, because the fact is that they have a lot of fight. There's a lot of fight in that team. That is something that needs to be mentioned. There's a lot of fight in that team. There's a lot of there's a lot of togetherness in that team. But that doesn't win you games automatically. You need skill as well. You need players who can come in and who can make a difference. United don't have that at the moment. When they lose 3 or 4 key players, as they have lost today, as they didn't have available today, they just don't look the same team. So that's what it is. But I mean, it's a result. Like I said, it's a result both teams were disappointed with. But at the same time, I think the good thing from both sides' perspective is that this game is still in the balance. It's not done yet. It's not like one team is out of it. It's not. It's still much in the balance, and that's something you take as a positive as well, to say, right, we may not have won the game, but at least we haven't lost it yet. So we still got time to come back. So let's see what happens in the second leg. A few key players for United will return, and that would be something good. From United's perspective, they'll hope that Pedri doesn't play the second leg. From Barcelona's perspective, of course, they'll hope that that Pedri does recover in time. I don't think it was that serious, so I think he should be back. And just a minute, niggle, he might be back for that game. May not play the game on the weekend, but I think he'll be back for that one. So but we'll keep an eye on that one for sure. Let me know your thoughts on the game, of course. What do you think? It was a fantastic game, by the way. Gotta say, it was a fantastic game to watch. So as just a spectacle, it was brilliant. You don't see such games often. This is what it is all about. You don't want to see United against Barcelona every year, because when you see them once every 3-4 years, it makes it that much of a bigger occasion. It makes it that much of a spectacle. And you get to see these kind of games in these kinds of competitions. So I enjoyed it. I hope you did too. Let me know what you thought of it. Of course, smash the like if you enjoyed this video. Do subscribe to our channel on YouTube. Follow us on Facebook, Twitter, Instagram. We appreciate your support. We'll be doing a few more videos today, so do subscribe so you get notified. Thank you so much for watching. See you again soon. Bye-bye.